Merry Meet, Annie here. There's a video that's on my list to do, and I think I've had it for quite a while. It was a comment on a video and sent to me in a message, and then, as often happens, a couple more questions came along that were very similar in nature. A lot of us in our videos will talk about the power, the personal power, our power, growing our power, developing our power, finding our power. And the question I got was, what's this power that you're talking about? Because it seems like this big secret thing that those of us with some experience keep saying, the power, my power, growing your power, etc. What's this mystical thing you keep talking to as the power? And how could I get the power? So, I've had thoughts floating around in my head for some videos I wanted to do, this being one of them. And then I was putting together my thoughts on doing the video about Imbolc and the individuation and powerful arriving of self. And indeed, that's all what power is. Power is knowing who you are. Who you are disconnected from who you are to others. Who you are when you are whole unto yourself. We don't arrive at that place of self-knowing without struggle. At least that's my experience of it, and it's a continual struggle to stay there. But it's not some mystical thing that you can only aspire to late in life, or with a lot of training, or reading a lot of magical books. It is simply a matter of being in touch with yourself. It's an ultimate expression of self-respect and self-acknowledgement. If you will look at my video on Imbolc that I just uploaded, I speak about the power of being complete within oneself, being unique and unlike anything else which exists. That is the power that I speak of when I speak of where our magics come from, where our deepest spirituality comes from, and indeed where that word power, the power, my power, your power comes from. It is that internal completeness that we arrive at. To arrive there, we take into consideration everything that we have experienced and continue experiencing in life. We learn about ourselves. We devote ourselves to bettering ourselves, making changes to ourselves, following the path of our beliefs. But we also, in that place, find self-forgiveness, knowing that there are times we've done the best that we could, even though we totally screwed up. Learning from our mistakes. Indeed, loving ourselves. The place of our personal power, where our greatest magic will always come from, is knowing ourselves. Not perfecting ourselves, but I would dare say working to perfect ourselves, knowing who we are. It has to do with knowing what we believe in, what we hold to, what is the consistent thing or things that has run through our lives that we center ourselves on. It is about who we are complete within this shell which holds the energy of our life this time around. I often get questions from people who feel they are under psychic attack, or feel threatened or unsafe, maybe in ritual, maybe in life in general. And I get the question often, how do I set up a protection around myself? What actions do I take to encapsulate myself and separate myself from what I feel is threatening me? I am almost always, believe it or not, at a loss of words when I get those questions. Because none of us can be touched unless we believe it to be so. We are each so uniquely and perfectly and powerful ourselves because we are like nothing else. No person, no thing, no energy. The complete collection of what is us is so unique it cannot be invaded. We are inviolate. We truly are. But it comes from knowing that And the place of power is knowing one's self. One of the most famous oracles of all time had one answer to just about everything, and it was know thyself. And I would add to that, it doesn't mean knowing yourself in relation to others. It is a complete knowing of who you are. Being self-aware. I re-explore this. Every turning of the wheel that comes back to Imbolc. The turning of the wheel, which comes back to Imbolc, is if you picture a wheel and you are the wheel constantly turning around through the year, you'll come back to this place, which is Imbolc, again in a year's time. But you will not literally be in the same place. You will have grown and developed, and if you are not in tune with the changes within yourself, who you are and who you are, as I referred to in my Imbolc video, constantly becoming, you lose track of the power of yourself. Now the goddess tells us, if we don't first seek for what we need within, we won't find it without. If that which you seek, you do not first find it within, you will not find it without. Our power, the power which so many of us refer to who are experienced practitioners, is nothing more than the intimate knowing of who you are. No one else can know that. Only you can take on the work of self-exploration and declaring yourself beautiful and strong and perfect just as you are. Ever evolving, ever changing, ever growing. But in that acknowledgement of what you are within, nothing can touch you. Nothing can touch you. So there's my answer to those of you who have asked me, what's this thing called power that you talk about it, and how does one get it? One already has it. It is the deep purity of who you are within yourself, self-contained. The work of it is getting to where you see it and acknowledge it for what it is. One of the benefits I've had in the years that I have been in the Wiccan community is great teachers who not only took me to the first experience I had of initiation, which is indeed the deep going within, so that you know at the gut level who you are, that no other is. But the great teachers in my life have taught me that initiation occurs in all the moments of our life. The power of being in touch with what rises within us, what is not something that comes in from the outside or are reacting to something from the outside, but what lives in us. That is that one perfect, and I mean it when I say perfect being, that is each one of us. That is power. The power of self-knowledge, and nothing at all can touch that. So forgive me, friends, when you send me questions that say, I feel like I'm being attacked or I'm being violated at the energetic or the spiritual level, and I don't have an answer for you, because there is, to my experience, only one answer, and it is the ultimate power that you have to declare your completeness, your wholeness, your acknowledgement of the energy which is you and which nothing can touch. If you are struggling with the feelings of being attacked in some way, think about where the weakness is, the insecurity is, which has you doubting that in your perfect uniqueness you are in a place that cannot be disturbed. Whole, complete, perfect. Yes, I might talk about that and then have to admit that I fail, as we all do, in containing myself. Understanding at moments what is within me, especially as things change within me. Taking myself for granted, doubting myself. But in the end, the wisdom of the years, the wisdom shared by my teachers, and the life experiences I have been through great sadness and great trauma in my life, has been coming from the place of knowing myself. Annie, know thyself is the place of the power that I hold. I wish you mirth and reverence. Merry part.